the payments from the bank statements. And there's a slight clarification there. I don't know if I can make it now or after the submission. There's a slight clarification about the fixed deposit. I don't know if I should make it now or after the...
No, let us have the documents admitted,
first,
then you can make whatever.
Yes, I believe those are the documents.
We apply.
Sorry, there's one more on the customization.
All right.
The customization of the trucks.
We apply to tender the following documents. The first is a letter from Quantum Net Company Limited, addressed to the Lord Mayor, Carnifin Municipal Council. There's request for clarification. This is in relation to the customization of the trucks. It is signed by Mohamed Jah, the managing director. The second is invoice Express Motors Quantum Net Company Limited, invoice number 000001. We also have the delivery note from Express Motors. And attached to it a series of documents with respect to the waste collection trucks repayment reconciliation. We have the Quantum Net account details and the statement of account from the 17th of January 2019. The 14th of January 2021. And attached to it as well is an application by Quantum Net Company Limited, addressed to the Commissioner General, Gambia Revenue Authority. The application is for direct delivery of 28 vehicles. Signed by Mohamed Jah, Managing Director. We also have evidence of a KMC account transactions from 1st of June 2018 to 15th of June 2022. these documents to be admitted into evidence and marked as exhibits. Separate.
A delivery note addressed to the CEO from QuantumNet Espas Motors dated the 23rd of April 2021. Attached to this delivery note is the KMC waste collection trucks repayment reconciliation covering the period 29 July 2019 to 25th of March 2021, which gave a loan balance outstanding of 70,024,878.6.53. And attached also is the document that is the description of payments on the said investment account from the various wards. Total credited to the ballot account from 11th of July 2019 to 12th of February 2020 is a sum total of 90,472,244.14. Also, there is the KMC West Collection Trucks repayment reconciliation as of 11th of March 2021. The loan balance outstanding is 75,424,878.53. A Quantum Net Limited account details at Ajib Bank provided the account number and the BBAN number. The account covered the period 17th of January 2019 to 11th of March 2021 with available balance being negative 59,419.22. Also attached is an Ajib Bank statement from the 1st of January 2019 to the 3rd of March 2021. And the available balance is 0. There is also attached an application for direct delivery of 28 vehicles. This is addressed to the Commissioner General Gambia Revenue Authority, and it is signed by Mohamed Jah, Managing Director for Quantum Net Company Limited. There's also the Kanifing Municipal Council account transactions from 1st of June 2018 to 15th of June 2022. Mayor Bensouda, please take a look at this document. I think this might be incorrect because the account transaction is showing that it covers from the period 1st of June 2018 to 15th of June 2022. And the start date in this document is 15th of March 2019. And the end date, according to this document, is 1st of June 2022. Yes. Did you see that?
Which page?
That page. If you look at it, it is saying the start date is sometime in 2018, end date is sometime in 2022. But if you look at the transactions, it's different.
Account transactions from 1st June 2018 to 15th June 2022.
Yes, and if you look at the start date of the transaction on that page, it's different.
I think the person who printed the statement I think this is from the software.
Yes.
That's the block they use, but the first
So I
transaction.
just, yes, I just wanted you to note that so that you
Yes.
can get us the correct documents pursuant to the start and the finish date based on,
Yes.
yes.
So I think he was just printing the vote.
All right?
The vote he was printing,
Yeah.
he inputted these dates.
Okay.
But when you look at it, the first transaction is from 15 March 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what he inputted in the system to search. He was searching for the transactions.
Okay.
But you can see the first transaction is 15 March 2019.
That's the start date of the transaction.
Yes.
Yes.
So he was just printing from the
Why
software.
I'm confused is that because the document is indicating that it is a transaction from 2018.
Yeah, so that's what he inputted to search.
Okay.
He was searching all transactions in this period.
Okay.
But you can see
And that's what he has.
yeah, so the first transaction is 15 March.
Okay. I still have an issue because um, how would somebody assume? Because if you take this document without the explanation you are giving, your automatic understanding would be that there is something missing, right?
So when you're searching for transactions on a software like your bank statement,
Yes.
even before transaction, you can search for a period, even if no transaction never existed.
Okay.
So the software is.
All right. Thank you. An Ajib Bank statement dated the 12th of February 2020 is an account which is a Mudaraba investment deposit for the sum of $4 million. There is also attached the statement of account, which is the current account for the Combo St. Mary's Division KMC Mbalit, which is dated the 20th of June 2022. It covered the period 1st of October 2019 to 9th of October 2019. Also, the current account in GMD maintained at Ajib Bank for the period 1st of February 2022 to 23rd of March 20, I believe it's 23rd of March 2020, 23rd of March 2020 to the 3rd of February 2022. The next document is the Espas Motors Quantum Net invoice, which is addressed to the Lord Mayor, Kanifing Municipal Council, and it is dated December 27, 2018. And attached to the invoice is the offer of warranty. On manufactured parts for the trucks. And the last document is the Quantum Net Company Limited request for clarification, which is addressed to the Lord Mayor, Kanifing Municipal Council. It is dated the 10th of January 2019. It is signed by Mohammed Jah. These documents are admitted together as exhibit in evidence, and they are marked as LGC/KMC/TAB/017.
As the commission places. Yes, the witness wants to draw the commission to some issues in the of the documents.
Yes, on the issue asked by the lead counsel yesterday about the first transaction of 4 million, I just wanted to make a correction because I had consulted with the finance manager at KMC. So the 4 million was indeed the fixed deposit. So the bank statement here, the Mudaraba investment deposit account, that's when the 4 million was initially deposited after the contract signage. Now the bank in 30th August deducted 2.5 million when the council was late on payment. The bank deducted from that 4 million, 2.5 million as payment towards the trucks in August 30th. So the letter the CEO wrote to the bank asking for more time is because the bank was asking that the 4 million be replenished. So there was 4 million put there, 2.5 million deducted and transferred towards the payment of the trucks. So the bank is saying, can you replenish the 2.5 million? So the CEO wrote, can you give us more time because we have an unexpected duty payment. So that's the information I got from the finance manager.
Okay, so just a quick question on that.
Yeah.
The account that it is paid in, is it a joint account or?
So this is it says it's a KMC Mudaraba investment deposit account.
Okay, so it is not entirely in the control of, so the investment account, it is in the name of KMC entirely, right? Okay, we will look into that. We'll examine that document and look into it. Now, this was in, please give the witness the document back. Give us a date exactly, the 4 million, the 2.5 was deducted.
The 2.5 is deducted on 30th August 2019.
Were the trucks delivered at this time? Do we know?
Yes, I believe so.
when was the contract? Did it state exactly when the first payment from the WDCs should start?
On the contract, I believe it was from delivery, if I remember, 36 months.
36 months. Okay, it did not state that. It just says manufacturers recommend spare before that. Do you have a copy of the contract there?
With me here, no.
Just to verify whether we have a timeline as to when payment should start.
So it says on price and payment, Article 3, 3.3. Sorry, it's the other contract. Sorry, this is the contract for the port trucks, not the Mali trucks.
Okay, I believe in it there may be the contract for the 19, but I'm not sure. There are two contracts that should be there.
Okay, okay, yes. I think it's. On price and payment, 3.2, payment shall be made in 36 equal monthly installments based on conditions below.
Okay, but we don't have conditions below, do we?
It must have been with them.
No, I mean it will mean, for instance, if it says 3.2 says that the payment shall be made in 36 equal months, 36 equal monthly installments based on the conditions below. Usually, you will expect that the paragraphs after 30.3.2 will outline the installmental payments.
Yes, but
Do you see my point?
I see your point, but I remember it was discussed that payment should start after delivery.
Okay, but it's not in the contract.
It's not in the contract, it's implied.
All right. Thank you. Now, how do you reconcile these two? I see the letter from Espas Motors to the CEO of KMC, which signed by Jim Gay, which is suggesting that the account kept is both in the name of KMC and Quantum / Ajib bank account. Please.
This is the I believe is the control account, the account to operate, to repay the trucks.
Yes. So is it the same with the investment account?
No.
It's different.
Different.
Okay. I raised this issue because the voucher we have for the 4 million is the supporting documents are letters from Quantum Net address to the CEO KMC, which reads that please deposit proceeds of the operations of the KMC garbage compactor trucks, skip trucks, and septic emptier in account number 1010100009720 in bracket KMC Wards and Quantum Net / Ajib account. We further authorized Noah Marena and Samba Faye of Ajib Bank to be signatories to the account, together with the acting chief executive officer, finance director of KMC, as agreed. Now, it is pursuant to this request that the 4 million was paid.
Yeah, so the 4 million, the account is here. Is account 9185 is the Mudaraba Investment Deposit Account, Kanefe Municipal Council. That one is the control account for the partnership. That's why both parties are members, to ensure that the income comes and goes to the right channel.
Right. So the two 4 millions, are they different? Or is
So
it the
this
same?
the 4 million was put into this account. You will see the details.
So what I mean, is this 4 million the same with this, the one you're showing me? Do we
Can you
know?
show me the 4 million?
Let me just give you the two.
This looks like a different transaction.
We will examine, go through the one that you have provided, and then we will get back to you on that. Now, just one or two questions with respect to this transaction. Do you know whether the council in any form consulted the Ministry of Finance, that is in relation to the PPE department, to seek advice regarding this?
I think at some point there was a consultation. I can't remember the outcome.
Do you know whether there is correspondence to that effect?
I remember there was correspondence. I believe so.
Believe so. Okay. Who do we ask? How do we get evidence of that?
The CEO should have copies.
Is that Jaya Cham?
Jaya Cham.
Cham. Okay. Now, in this year, was there a procurement plan?
For 2025?
No, for 2018 or 2019 regarding the trucks. Was it factored in the procurement plan?
2019?
Yes.
I should believe so.
You should believe so. Okay. We don't have copies of the procurement plan for 2019.
No, I don't.
Yes.
It's usually with the CEO.
All right. We do not have that, and we want to confirm that. That's one. The other issue is, do you know whether the 19 trucks were part of the procurement plan for 2019?
Yes, because discussions had started in 2018.
18.
So I would assume it's part of the
All right.
contracts committee's plan.
Can you confirm that with us?
I can ask the CEO.
All right. Now, we have another issue with respect to
Mayor Bensouda, in the contract agreement, there was the indication that let me refer you to Article 1. That is Article 1, sub 1.2, sub 1.3.4, which says that the supplier will maintain the supply of the spare parts without increasing price. Was that respected by the supplier?
Can I see the article you're referring to?
One 1.3.4.
During the 3-year term, the price of spare parts should not be inflated above the exchange rate fluctuation.
Yes, was that respected?
I would assume so. It's operational.
Can you please check and let us know?
I'll ask this.
Now, my other question is, was the 20% payment, was it done? 20% advance payment, was it done pursuant to the agreement?
I believe the 20% is not in the Mbalit agreement, it's in the other trucks, the sanitation.
The trucks, yes, that is what I'm, okay, it's not in the budget. We are looking at, oh, okay, it's at the sanitation, all right. For this agreement for the trucks, there was, aside from the 4 million, there was no advance payment.
Well, the CEO needs to confirm because I'm looking at the bank statements that I just submitted, the ones they just gave me.
Okay.
I saw 4 million fixed deposit and 2.5 withdrawn. But lead counsel has shown another payment of 4 million, which the CEO has.
So you wouldn't know whether there was any advance payment made towards this?
Towards the?
Towards these trucks? Aside from the 4 million, which was
fixed deposit.
Fixed deposit.
That's
on
what
the
I'm aware
Mudara investment account.
Yes, that's what I'm aware of. But the bank statements are with the lead
All right. Council, you may proceed.
The exhibit you have tendered regarding the letter from Ajib that shows evidence of customization. It reads, thank you for your letter dated the 9th of January 2019. That is addressed to KMC through you. Requesting for clarification the price of the compactor trucks. Please note the following. 1. Espas Motors is giving KMC 3 years payment plan. 2. You have 1 year warranty on any manufacturer defective parts for all 19 trucks. 3. Espas Motors will provide protective headlamp covers for all 19 units. 4. Espas Motors will provide a free compactor truck for use by any KMC ward during routine service throughout the financial period. 5. Espas Motors will provide 100 liters fuel free of charge on all 19 trucks. 6. A full compliance service garage is being constructed behind Espas Motors as a measure to provide all required after-sales service without delay. 7. Following a visit by our manufacturer representative to the Gambia, a special tire and reinforced shock absorbers have been agreed with the manufacturer for all 19 units. 8. There will be manufacturer-trained engineers on site for operations, training, and servicing. 9. Special horns mounted on each unit to notify neighborhoods of waste collection. 10. Espas Motors will brand all 19 units from factory to KMC standards. 11. Espas Motors will order special tires of KMC according to need when requested. 12. The compactor body truck has been increased from 16 cbm to 20 cbm, giving each truck more load capacity. 13. The compactor hooper capacity has been increased from 1.2 cbm to 2.5 cbm. So we thank you for giving us the opportunity to serve KMC and the entire community. Now, the question is, this is what they said they will do. And of course, if you are buying, you want to know whether they would have done this, correct?
Yes,
Do we know whether they have done this?
I believe so.
You
yeah.
believe so? Do we have confirmation that they have done it?
Well, based on my knowledge, most of those things are there.
There.
Seeing the trucks.
Okay. Now, how do you think the buyer will know whether the seller had customized the trucks, which would have to be different from the original state of the trucks?
That's the expertise of the procurement unit. They should confirm that.
Good. So there has to be an examination and receipt committee that the CEO should form, for instance, so that they will examine the trucks when they are in receipt of the trucks to see whether the original state of the trucks from the manufacturer has now been modified to suit what the agreement or what they said, the commitment from Espas. Do you know whether such a committee was formed?
I believe we discussed this before, not to my knowledge.
Okay.
But I believe that's why they traveled also to China
Right.
to confirm what they were buying.
Yes. So I asked them, they could not provide either. For instance, when Espas said, number one, Espas Motors is giving KMC 3 years payment plan, that we know is what obtained. Number two, you have 1 year warranty on any manufacturer, yes. 3, Espas Motors will provide protective headlamp covers for all 19 units. We need to confirm that. The committee must confirm that that is provided, right? 4, Espas Motors will provide a free compactor. Was that drawn? An extra compactor truck?
So I think initially it was, but eventually the council decided to buy a more permanent solution, a reserve truck.
Okay, so the answer is no. They did not give KMC a free truck
Yes,
as
so
committed.
yeah, so initially they started, but then eventually they could not. So the council met and we decided to buy a reserve truck.
Then they have breached the contract.
Pardon?
Then they have breached their own commitment to the contract.
So this was the offer at the time, but the problem is it was not put into the contract.
Yes, but at
This
least
was before they negotiated the
yes.
contract.
But at least we have something in writing on the 10th of January. You recall that they have made several attempts to get KMC to commit themselves in writing, even the repayment. Whenever there is a failure on KMC side to pay, they will write and make sure they have the commitment at some point.
So this was an issue at the council. A lot of the councillors were unhappy about it. There was a push and pull, but eventually what was agreed was we'll have 2 reserve trucks. So we eventually bought 2 reserve trucks.
Okay. My take is the council should have insisted that they provide the one free truck that they said they would provide, because perhaps that may be a reason to convince some people in council as to why they would perhaps vote for or agree that the agreement between the two parties be done.
So I believe this was a contentious issue between the administration and Espas.
Yes.
But I cannot recall exactly how it concluded. But eventually, the council voted that for sustainability, it's better that we own our own reserve trucks, because this offer is to lend us 1 truck during the period. It's not to give it to us for free. It's to allow us to use 1 truck when there is routine maintenance on other vehicles.
Okay, so it is not clear. Now you are saying this, it brings another argument. It did not also say that KMC should own it, but let me read it again. Espas Motors would provide a free compactor truck for use. by any KMC ward during routine services throughout the finance. Your understanding is it is supposed to be to lend you guys this truck
Yeah, during. That's why during services.
during services. Okay. Now, 6, before 6, 5, Espas Motors will provide 100 liters fuel free of charge on all 19 trucks. What does this mean?
It means the truck should come with fuel.
With fuel. Okay. And just one time?
Yes, one time.
No, we like to be more clear when it comes to these terms of these contracts, because one can assume it is their responsibility to have 100 liters of fuel, but which will not be logical as well at some point to Espas as well. Now, have you been servicing the trucks with Espas?
Yes, we serviced the trucks with Espas initially. At some point we switched, and then at some point we did it in-house, and then we are back at Espas. It depends on the magnitude of the issue.
Okay.
So it's CEO's discretion. Sometimes he believes it's better to service elsewhere.
Very well. I'm sure we will ask Espas the remaining questions. Now, during your time, do you know whether there had been interference in procurement matters?
Interference from who?
From senior management, whether from the office of the mayor or from the councillors generally, or from people that are outside the contracts committee or the procurement unit.
Not that is reported, no.
Okay. So I asked this because there's a contracts committee meeting minutes of the 13th of June 2019, where the members in attendance were Jaya Cham, Abdullah Kebe, Dauda Bari, Musa Bah, the deputy mayor, Binta J. Jalo, Sherif Njai, Nima Kamara, Fatoumata S. Cham. Now, to start with, who appoints the members of the contracts committee?
It's based on the Finance and Audit Act, so they're automatic members. The only two members that are not automatic are the experts and the councillors.
Okay. Now, the procurement...
sorry, the councillors are prescribed. Sorry, the councillors are automatic. They're prescribed.
All right. Now, the Musa Bah at the time was the deputy mayor.
Yes.
Is he answerable to you, Musa Bah?
No, he's not.
He's not. So he does not provide you with briefings with respect to the committees that he has served as deputy mayor?
No. The CEO can provide briefings, but the CEO reports to the council on the deliberations of the contracts committee.
Okay. So Musa Bah, what does he do? He reports to council directly?
So Musa Abba is a deputy mayor. He gives me briefings on councillors' activities.
Okay.
But that's his position as deputy mayor is not the reason he's sitting at the contracts committee.
Okay. Now, Jaya Cham on 1.3 in the meeting minutes reads, a member observed that in a normal procurement operation when a department of unit requires goods or services, a proper procedure should be followed by ensuring a request is raised in writing to the CEO, who minutes it to the procurement unit for processing. It was further observed that the reason why this meeting was summoned is to regularize the current trend of interference in the procurement process, which is deemed to be in contravention, well, it reads to be in contravenes, but it should be to be in contravention and not in line with the council's financial regulations, and therefore requires urgent intervention of the contracts committee. As such, the committee agreed that henceforth the procurement unit should be given an environment where it will function independently with no interference or whosoever from management. Do you know where this was brought to your attention?
No, that's not brought to my attention. I think Jaja is trying to make sure there's no interference in the procurement, but I don't know what he's referring to.
Yeah, his claim is that there had been interference in procurement and it should stop. So these minutes of meetings, these concerns, most of these important concerns, do you know whether council is privy to it? Because the committees have to report to General Counsel for matters that are very important?
He never reported that. So I think he's trying to get his contracts committee to control the procurement.
Very well. Now, the trucks that were procured and the compactors, we have seen evidence of minutes of meetings that suggest that one of the importance is to also cut expenditure, because you realize council will spend a lot of money, millions of dollars, in relation to paying private individuals for dump site clearance and so on and so forth, these illegal dump sites, one of which is Lang Karamo Suare and Sons. Now, do you know whether after the acquisition of all these machinery, whether the council continued to engage these private individuals to clear these dump sites?
For the gutter clearing, I believe council continues to engage contractors. We do not have a shovel loader, so I assume if there's an illegal dump, they will need to hire a shovel loader.
Yes. So Lankaramo Suare in 2020. Please remind us again, when did you receive the trucks the first?
2019, I believe in August or so.
Okay, so we still have Lankaramo Suare being paid money. For instance, 2nd February 2020, it says being cost of plants and gardening materials, this for the beautification. Yes, being payment for the hiring of a shovel loader with 2 trucks for the clearing of dump site. This was in 2022, March 11, 2022. So he was paid an amount of $54,000, and it reads being payment for the hiring of a shovel loader with 2 trucks for the clearing of dump site at LK Iringanya Community Cemetery. You want to see the voucher?
Sure, sure. Yes, I see it.
Yes, so you have said that the council does not have a shovel loader.
No.
But the trucks, by this time, the council already has purchased trucks already.
Yes, so the trucks we have are compactors. They cannot clear illegal dump sites. We have skip trucks. We have septic MTS. To clear an illegal dump site, you need a shovel loader and an open truck, or we call them dumper trucks.
Open trucks.
So in 2023, we purchased 3 dumper trucks.
Okay, so we have again the payments for 9th of February 2022. We have 10th of February 2022 for shovel loader and clearing of illegal dump in Carnifin and trucks for transportation of waste to the dump site as per the request. So council still kept on paying for this. Why was this issue not addressed?
Well, bad habits die hard. Some constituents still don't use the service. They just go where they're used to. So especially the Ibo Town riverine area, Talinding, Jilifitikunda, Aboko Badala, some residents just find it easier to just go there and dump. So when it accumulates to protect the environment, it's a health hazard. The council has to get a shovel loader and dumper trucks to clear the area. Although it was more prominent before the institution of the ballot trucks, it reduced drastically after the institution of the ballot trucks. But it's a ongoing issue. Recently, the Ministry of Environment even paid a visit, because what happens, especially in the case of Ibo Town, it's there's Alcalo. He's not an official Alcalo, but he uses waste to reclaim land, and they sell the land. So it's become a big issue in those areas.
Was there a question?
Yes, I want to know, you have told us in your evidence that the trucks come together with a skip bin, right?
Yes.
And this skip bin is supposed to be the reservoir for the collection of refuge.
It's strategic.
Yes. So I want to understand the correlation between you having purchased the trucks with the skip bins, and in 2020 you still have to have trucks, open trucks, and shovel to collect the waste.
Yeah, so the problem of waste is quite complicated. You have three types of producers. You have the residential producers, you have the commercial producers as well, and medical. Now, in terms of what council was able to solve at the initial stage was majority of the residential and commercial producers, but we were still collecting 70%. Now, 30% of the waste still goes uncollected, meaning it is dumped in drains, in unfinished houses, in abandoned areas or riverine areas. Now, how to tackle that is a two-pronged approach. First, we have to see what are the most utilized illegal dumps. So we only had 8 skips, like we've seen, 8 skips. So we targeted areas in the heart of the community that were being dumped, meaning visible areas. So you have behind Charles Jau, Bundung Jola Kunda, you have Bakau Nene Wale, K Point, Kanifing South, SDA Joshua. Now, still, these are 8 areas, but the amount of places people dump is 40 to 50, especially in the riverine area. So how do we tackle those areas is through enforcement on one side and also through clearing. So that's why the council instituted the first ever bylaws and to bring about charges. And that's why we also brought municipal police. So it is a very difficult battle. It is not easy. People, bad habits die hard. As soon as you turn a blind eye, people go and fly tip or they dump. So the council realized that, oh, the equipment we have cannot clear illegal dumps because these are compactor trucks and they compress. Illegal dumps are usually mixed with sand. If the truck, the compactor truck puts sand into the compressor, it will affect the hydraulics. So that's why we had to get open trucks. Shovel loader we still don't have, unfortunately. We are looking to get shovel loader next year. And this is all a strategy to reduce the amount of outsourcing because it becomes very expensive. One thing also we don't have is a bulldozer for the dressing of the backwater dump site because it costs a lot of money. But based on what we are outsourcing over a period, it could be more. So these are all things we are trying to combat.
Councillor, you may proceed.
Now, in hiring these contractors, it still has to pass through procurement process. Now, the issue of Lankara Musware, he was called here. I'm not sure whether you had a chance to watch his interview. But Mr. Suare does not have any machinery in the first place. So what he does is council will pay him and then he will go and hire this shovel loader and these trucks. See, so the problem that council has is the same problem that Mr. Suare has. So that council will pay more in trying to tackle the problem, which they could have just directly hired from the people that own these machines. I'm not sure whether this was to the council's knowledge.
Yeah, so I think Lang Suare has been working for the council since before we came.
Right.
He had a relationship with the administration.
Right.
So I believe they thought he's reliable. But I know of 2 types of contractors that work for the council. One is somebody who owns the equipment, and there's somebody else who coordinates the work.
Right.
So for example, if you have a work where it's different components, somebody needs to coordinate. So I would have rather that the unit responsible do that coordination, but these are management decisions. They decide how to outsource these things. But we always advocate for building of internal capacity, both in equipment and manpower.
Yes, because the idea again is to just spend less, and then if you have that capacity, and the council staff in that department of services, is it services department that
It's
are
Department of
responsible?
Services.
Services, yes. So they can monitor these things. That's what they are paid for every month, so that when you hire from a third party, it costs more money for council. I'm not sure whether you guys have discussed this or it has come to your notice, but it costs more money to council. And so it defeats the purpose in trying to solve one problem of the bigger problem, which is the issue of illegal dump site. It is still um, slowly causing council financial losses, because the Department of Services should know, but they knew that Mr. Karamo Suare does not have any machinery, and then so that it costs you a lot more to get these things done.
Yeah, so it's under the operations, under the purview of the CEO. If it was me, I would be on the ground. I will coordinate the trucks, but they use their judgment as to what they believe is more effective.
Okay.
So yeah,
Another issue is that when services are done, the requirements are that there should be evidence of execution, that is job completion certificate. So that's another problem we had. We interviewed um, all of the people concerned. We realized that, so we see money being paid and we don't see evidence of services as executed, so that you do not know whether the money that was withdrawn from the council's account said to have been paid to a contractor. Let's say, in the case of Lankaramo Suarez, we'll take him as an example, but there are so many that when they said, for instance, shovel loader with trucks for declaring and transportation of unauthorized dump site at Bakote, you see the amount is $198,000. But when you look at the voucher, you would not see any evidence of job completion certificate. Let's just take this one for an example, so that you can, as an example, so that you can see what I'm trying to discuss.
yeah.
Yeah, so you will notice that there are no job completion certificate. We had asked the director of services and also Lankaramo. He had confirmed that for the most part, he is not issued with a job completion certificate. And so you will agree with me that council then would not have evidence of execution of the work that is paid for.
Yeah, so the procedure is already there because I've heard of it many times.
Right.
The requesting unit should give a confirmation to the procurement unit before final payment. So if that's not done, I believe the procurement officer should come to answer, or the officers that are paying, because the finance director should check, the CEO should check, and then of course the internal audit should check.
Exactly. So these are loopholes that, for instance, if the finance director and the CEO, when they sign these checks, and then it's easy for them to just raise a voucher. We have seen in the case of the road in, is it Talinding, Sikap, that we discussed that voucher where was copied about 3-4 times. I thought it was 3, you told me about 4 payments. That if it is a fraudulent practice, for instance, you will realize that it's going to be difficult for council to know, and monies would have been spent on fictitious exercises that perhaps could have been avoided. Right. Now, the other issue is the accounts that were opened with respect to the $3 million, 3 million euros. There were accounts that were opened with EcoBank. Now, when you want to open an account, what procedure do you follow as council to open accounts?
If council wants to open an account,
Yes.
they come usually to the general body for permission.
Okay. And who would be the signatories to this account?
For council's regular accounts, the CEO and the director of finance.
Are there other accounts that council may hold that would not be the regular accounts that other signatories may be appointed?
It depends on the context and the scenario.
Because the Dalasi account, in managing the 3 million euros, we see there were private individuals, right, that were not ordinary council employees, and or they don't hold the office of the CEO or finance director. Let me show you the correspondence dated the 11th of May 2022 from KMC addressed to the managing director, Eco Bank Gambia Limited, signed by Kajali Jane. Please do kindly read that letter for us.
The letter dated 11 May 2022, Managing Director EcoBank, from CEO and Deputy Director of Finance, request for change of signatures mandate. With reference to the above, approval has been granted for change in signature mandate for KMC CAP project account to enable smooth running of the project operations. In this regard, the current signatories to the account are Mr. Aliu Sambanyang, Project Director of CAP, Mr. Kajali Jane, Deputy CEO, Mr. Bakari Diba, Finance Officer, Mr. Lamin Sanyang, Project Manager.
Yes, so who authorized that change of signature?
Seems like the CEO and the Director of Finance.
Okay, where do they get that authorization? Or
They would have to come through the Finance Committee or the Council, but I can't recall exactly.
you can't recall, right? Now, was this discussed at council? Do you know, or you can't recall as well?
I cannot recall the specific details. It's a long time ago.
Now, the letter was sent to the bank. Does the deputy CEO and is it the finance manager? And the finance manager, right?
This is the Deputy CEO who was acting CEO at the time,
Right.
and the Deputy Director of Finance who was acting Director of Finance at the time.
And who do they suggest that would be the signatories to the account?
They suggest the CEO would be there.
Deputy CEO.
Sorry, the Deputy CEO would be there, and the Finance Manager. The Finance Manager was also working in the CAP project.
Okay. Who else is there?
The Project Director, Aliu Nyang, and the Project Manager, Lamin Sanyang, who's also the Director of Service of KMC.
All right. Now, this was done. Why? By this time, the CEO, you don't have a substantive CEO.
No, we have an acting CEO.
Okay. And you don't have a substantive finance director.
No.
Good. Now, I was trying to find out the authority that the finance director or finance manager and the deputy CEO have in relation to instructing the bank to change signatures. Can you guide us?
You mean the CEO and the Director of Finance?
No, the deputy CEO and the the finance manager, you know, they wrote the letter to the bank.
No, it's not the finance manager, it's the director of finance, Sirif Njai.
Okay, let me see. Is Sheriff the finance manager or finance director?
Finance director.
Acting, yes. The acting, if it's the Sheriff is acting, Sheriff is not the finance, he was never appointed as finance director, was he?
No, Sirif was the acting finance director
Right.
in 2018,
Yes.
2019,
Right.
and then temporarily he returned as the deputy director of finance.
Right.
And then after he returned as the acting finance director.
So at no time did he hold the position of finance director, Simplicita.
No.
Okay. And also, Kajali, at no point did he hold the office of the chief executive officer, Simplicita.
The substantive position, no,
Yes.
they were all acting.
Okay. Now, in their acting capacity, do they have the right to instruct the bank to change signatories?
Yes, because the council gives them the authority over the accounts.
Okay.
Now, when they want to change, when they want to add or change signatories, it has to be with the council.
Okay.
Now, the project was already adopted by the council with the knowledge of a project officer and project office with a project director that they would execute the project. So at their level, operationally, I guess they were changing authority levels because of time issues.
Okay. Now, when council gave them the authority to act, where do you think council derived that authority to instruct the deputy CEO and the deputy finance director, or acting CEO and acting finance director to be signatories or instruct change of signatories?
I believe council has that authority.
I don't doubt that. Just want to be guided so that the commission will be guided as to where that authority is derived from.
Well, there's no substantive position holder. So the deputy director of finance is the deputy of the CEO. In their absence, they act as a CEO. Sorry, the deputy CEO. Right. The director of finance, in his absence, the deputy director of finance acts in their capacity.
Okay, my question is in line with the Local Government Finance and Audit Act. I think it has addressed the issue with respect to who signs what, right? Section 13, sub 2. Do you have a copy? Sub 3, sorry.
This is the Local Government Act or the Finance Audit Act?
The Local Government Finance and Audit Act 2004. Section 13, sub 3.
Section 13 page of the Local Government Finance Audit Act, right?
Yes, Section 13, sub 3. It reads, the chief, it is under appropriation of funds.
Yeah.
The chief executive and director of finance of the council shall be the signatories to all accounts of council. And in the absence of any of them, the director of administration shall be an alternative signatory. Now, you will see that it did not provide for any other individual to be signatories of this account, just the CEO and the finance director. And where it provided for a space for alternative signature, it says the director of administration. That's why I'm asking to know as to what council relied on in authorizing individuals outside this a bracket in signing or
So the CEO has a deputy CEO. The director of finance has a deputy director of finance. In their absence, they step in. In the case where the CEO is usually absent or the director of finance, if either or are absent, the director of administration can step in. If both of them are absent, the deputies step in.
Okay, but what is the legal justification? I know that it is not as, you know, look, the law has bestowed this authority directly to to these individuals. It has given them a delegated authority. Now, we know that when the law delegates you an authority, you cannot subdelegate that. Now, if you say that based on the deputy role, that is why they are signing the checks. When the Act 2004 is very clear as to who signs checks. Now, where would be, how would we be guided, the commission be guided to say it is in relation to this section or the functions of the council in this particular paragraph that authorizes that in their absence, their deputies will sign checks?
Yeah, so I think laws are rigid, but there's the gray area of the law, and this is one of those gray areas. The CEO, of course, is deputized. The director of finance is deputized. The director of admin is in place. For example, right now, our CEO has traveled. The deputy admin steps in. But in the case there's more absentees, there can be sickness, they can be, like in our case, administrative leaves. The council has to operate, so that judgment is left to the general body, and we made that judgment call.
Yes, so I'm not saying that, let's assume that should be the best way, that when you have a deputy CEO, the signatures in the absence of the deputy CEO should be in the absence of the CEO, the deputy should step in and sign. In fact, when I saw this, I thought I had marked it for a recommendation that where the CEO is absent, maybe the deputy should sign for him. And where the finance director is absent, maybe the deputy should sign for him. But that's not what the law says. That's what I thought should happen, but that's not what the law says. The law is saying something very clear and very explicit, that only these three are mandated to sign the checks. So if someone is outside these three signing checks, then it would not be proper.
So the chief executive is an office with two leaders, the CEO and the deputy. And the deputy is in place to act on behalf of the CEO if the CEO is unable to. Same with the director of finance. So I believe it's well within the parameters of the law.
All right. Now, the other individuals that were mandated to sign?
So, like I've said, this is a project account.
Right.
It's a project from the EU.
Right.
So the modalities and the arrangement is as such that the council is required to have a project office. So the implementers are the project director and the project manager. So this is an issue that was discussed in the council, and just like here, raging debates about what the arrangement should be. So I believe at the end of the day, the agreement between the parties is that they co-manage the accounts.
Right, but again, another issue comes up where if you look at 13, it says all accounts of council, right? It does not segregate or exclude any accounts of council. That's number one. And if you look at the revenues of council, like we discussed initially, the grants of every kind, loans of every kind, you name it, whether from government or from any other institution, these monies are exclusively revenues of council, section 4, exclusive revenues of council, where if I can read section 4, sub 2, paragraph G, it says project funds, donations, and grants and then all these monies are monies of council, so that even if that is what another entity wants, that will be contrary to what the law says. And more so, 13 tells you to manage all accounts of council. So what will be the justification? The going by the documents that are binding to council, what would be the justification that you will rely on to say, well, based on this particular provision also, we had allowed the manager, the project manager and others to sign checks and manage accounts?
Okay, I believe we discussed this a few days ago. So the source of funding is outside body. They can determine how they want that funding to be implemented. Some can believe that the council is trusted and capable, and they give the funds to the council, or based on their rules and parameters. Some can believe that no, they want a project office to be set up independent from the council. And some can say they will implement directly. So we've seen all these types of grants. It's not for the council to decide. Now, if the law is so rigid, like you're saying, I believe that's why there's the issue of courts and context. And the context is that the greater good is that these projects are implemented, is donor money. And if a law says, okay, all the monies have to come, but the donor agency say, no, I cannot give you to implement, then you have to act accordingly. So for example, in the BMZ project, it was fully implemented by a third party, not the council. The University Essex project that is going on right now from Funds Innovation Development, the 30 million project, they actually brought an expert in-house in KMC, who's the sole signatory to the account with the CEO, because they want to control how that funds are implemented. So it's a decision of the donor agent.
So when the donor wants to be a signatory to an account and the law says otherwise, which should supersede?
Well, in this context, like I said, the donor has to supersede
The law.
Like I said, there's gray areas of the law, and that's why context is very important.
This is not gray.
It's
This is
gray.
very clear. No, it's not gray. It cannot be gray because as undesirable as it may be, again, the law we interpret do not necessarily mean we agree with every text of the law. Sometimes we ourselves do not even agree with it. You understand that? But it remains to be the law. No, we can't like it in its entirety sometimes. Even the drafters of the law at Parliament, there will be some that would not agree with certain things, but that's why there is voting or so on and so forth. Now, the issue here is there may be rigidity based on circumstance. There may be circumstances where the law refuses to be flexible, but that remains to be the law. So that what the donor wants, if it contravenes, you have always been saying that anything the law becomes supreme. So what the donor wants, if it contravenes any provisions of the law, we can't go by the donor's position. We have to maintain what the law says.
So are you suggesting we return the money?
Yes. If that is what the donor is saying. If the donor is saying that unless and until you allow me to have a signature power, then and that contravenes the law, you wouldn't want to violate the law, will you?
I think what needs is the law needs to be evolved and amended rather than return vital money that can be helped to develop poor people.
100%.
So like I said, that's why these things should be, I guess that's why we're all here.
Right.
To see what sort of positive things we can bring.
Right.
But these are one of those issues. Gambia is a donor-based economy. We receive a lot of donor aid, central government more than local government. What we are doing is unprecedented, actually, receiving all this donor aid. But definitely it's up to the people giving the money, for the most part, who dictate. We push back as much as we can, but they say, no, this is how we want it, and this is based on our rules, and then that's how we accept it.
Did you seek advice from in this position as to the shifting of these signatories, which which is clear in the respect to the act. Let's say, for instance, Ministry of Finance or your line ministry, to see whether it is advisable to do what the donor is.
No, not to my knowledge that we sought advice, but the council also has judgment. We discuss, we deliberate, we debate. Some hold your position, but at the end of the day, we vote on the position we want to take.
Yes, but
The Mayor, is it your opinion that elected public officials should have discussion not to allow for the compliance of the law when it comes to particularly financial transactions? Is it your opinion?
My opinion is we make decisions on good faith. To the
No,
best
no, no,
of
no, no,
our
no, no.
ability.
Answer the question. Is it your opinion that elected public officials should have discussion to execute or to conduct matters not in compliance with law